Are you fascinated yet skeptical about the metaphysical, the mystical, and everything in between? Do you struggle to understand how to stay spiritual in a physical world that's constantly challenging you? What about the thought that you chose to experience this life and the lessons you go through? Well, this just might be the podcast you're looking for. Thank you for tuning in to Intuitive WTF Podcast. I'm Aaron Hart, intuitive reader, energy healer, and past life enthusiast, providing you a place to challenge, question, and maybe even laugh at my perspective and your own about the connection between the human, spiritual, and metaphysical journeys. So let's tune in.
All right. Hello, everyone. Give me 1 sec. I'm just still adjusting over here. I guess it'll work in a second. All right. Hi, everyone. Aaron Hart here with Cinthia Varkevisser, and we are going live today to give another round of some guidance or intuitive guidance, I should say, as well as some 5D messages. So this is all to kind of promote Cinthia and her efforts, as well as promote Spiritual WTF Experience at Heather Farms, where she'll be giving an hour-long workshop where you can pretty much do a deep dive into both the intuitive guidance messages for personal growth, as well as messages from the fifth dimension. So as a quick note, it's at Heather Farms Community Center on March 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you want to add this experience on, or any of the others, it's $35 per person. So again, Cinthia, welcome. Thanks for being back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And if you don't mind,
go ahead.
While we're waiting for everything to kind of catch up, why don't we talk about spiritual what the fuck?
Yeah.
And what's, who all is there, what kind of services and things that you provide, because I have been hogging up all the WTF time. And so I don't want people to think that that's all they get. I mean, I do believe I'm a lot. I'm quite a package, but you have so much stuff. So why don't you talk about some of the stuff that you have and the people that you're really excited to have at your place?
Yeah. So my event has a lot of things going on. So the number one thing I always emphasize is we have food. I feel like I've gone to a lot of events just in my normal career as well, and there's not always food or good food options in general. So that's, I think, a huge plus. So I think of this event as somewhat of like a community of people who, some of them may not really fit inside the stereotypical, woo-woo. I'm going to say like woo-woo gang, when it comes to spirituality and metaphysics. There's a lot of people who might feel that it's a little bit, what's the word, like whimsical and things like that. And I'm very, earthy, very practical. And I believe that everything I do in life, whether it's I stub my toe, I'm walking and, I see a flower, all of that to me is spiritual. So like my goal with these events is to bring that together and just let everyone know that like everything we're doing, we're breathing, we're, eating, it's spiritual action for our growth at a very high level. And so with that, I've been able to build this community of people from Reiki energy healers. We have readers, mediums, vendors that sell all sorts of products, spiritual tools, candles, body butters and sprays. We have mediums there, as well as some folks that do house clearings like yourself and hypnotherapists. So all sorts of stuff in the vendor marketplace. And then on top of that, we will have some talks and a little bit extra as well. So we have talks, and these are just local healers in the space that are trying to just spread their word, spread their love, spread their message across to help other people, elevate and vibe up. And then on top of the talks, at least for my next one, we'll have some sound healing. I'm also in the process of getting some music confirmed. So we'll have some live music. And then all of that is free admission. The one thing that we're here talking about is our experience workshops, which this is the part for me that that was the thing I was really trying to bring out in these events is, getting that hands-on experience, that hands-on immersion into various types of practices, because I'm a type of person who likes to learn by doing. Mm-hmm. And so I can read a book, I can, watch something and see how it's done, but like it really doesn't sink in until I'm sitting there in person. Normally I'm sitting there and I'm actually going through and experiencing it. So that's my goal with doing these experiences. And then when you put it all together, it's just one big, as I say, it's a WTF-ery. It's, the energy of, a little bit of craziness, but, still high vibing, still connected to yourself and your spirit and things like that. So hope that was a long-winded answer for you.
No, it's really good. I've gone to your events, and we do have history. So I'm going to just go ahead and showcase. You do have mediums. Now, one thing that's really cool that you have is that you have a couple that does healings, right? So, and I'm just going to name them. That's Aisha Muhammad and oh my gosh, and I forgot CJ, right?
CJ.
But I forgot his last name.
CJ
Haru, right?
Yeah.
Right. And they're a really amazing couple in that they do healings together sometimes, and they're pretty amazing on their own. So that's a pretty cool thing. Who else? Then you've got the Reiki. You've got a huge Reiki team that comes.
H3, Food for Thought with H3. Yeah, they're a huge. I don't want to say follower, but they're a huge supporter. And they've been very instrumental in supporting me and other people as well. And it's a great community.
It is. It's a really good community. There are also a lot of people who are getting their. I won't say that they're getting their feet wet, because you have a couple of schools that have come as well, which is really kind of fun too. So you have these really, really practiced readers, and then they're bringing their students. So it's a really, really nice thing to have. And the food is good.
Yeah.
Like I said before, tortilla soup, freaking amazing. So, and you've had drumming there. You've had
drumming. We've had like this person who she says, I think her Instagram handle is like very on the go. So she does some music, some guitar, and she's a great singer. And we've had like various types of talks from like inner child as well. I've had ancestral talks as well, ancestral healing. We've done workshops with that also. And
you've had grid work too, haven't you?
What was that?
Crystal grid work?
We had a workshop for that. Yeah, we did that. So it's like pretty much anything spiritual, anything metaphysical is pretty much fair game.
I like it. So yeah. So you're gonna get a gamut of different things, of which I am just a small part. Right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. Okay. So now that we're talking about the thing that we're here for, I'm happy to talk about anything you want to talk about.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, we can go right into it, because I know we have a few folks that were here wanting to kind of learn about what you're doing. And actually, yeah, why don't we talk about a little bit more about what you do? And then for anyone on, we're going to get to some question and answers shortly. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go into some we're going to go into some intuitive guidance messages from Cinthia, and then we'll go into some channel 5D messages from the fifth dimension. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Cinthia, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it, and then we can let folks know that if they want to go ahead and ask any questions, we can go ahead and have them answered live on the air.
I like it. Thank you. All right. So I am a spiritual shit disturber, which means that I help you disrupt your personal story, shake loose what no longer serves you, and then allow you to vibrate at a higher energy and just have a different perspective. Once you have that different perspective, you are able to get into action much more quickly in your regular life. This is done through intuitive healings and coaching. One thing I am known for is being a quickie. So I don't want to hear anything from the peanut gallery, but I am really good with the 15-20-minute readings. Can really pin something down and also give you a 3-step process of how to get, how to shift out of that. So that's an intuitive reading. So the thing about intuitive readings, everybody's intuitive. Everybody's got their own special way of connecting with people. What I will say is that intuitive readings are of this dimension, which means that we connect human being to human being that are here on this planet. And although we pull down information from a higher source, the connection is here, right? So that's what an intuitive reading is. And your intuition sits on top of your emotions. So my thing is I do whatever I can do to step you away from whatever is emotionally bogging you down, and then we can go ahead and suss it out and come up with a process to move you away from whatever it is that's been bugging the shit out of you. So that's intuitive readings. Fifth dimension. Aaron used to call me. What did you used to call me? The ass kicker. I was an ass
I
kicker.
was like, which thing? No.
I know, right? So, the other ones you didn't say to my face. So, just kidding. So, so the other thing that I do is I channel in this fifth dimension energy called Endura. And the fifth dimension, from my perspective, is informational only. There are no emotions because emotions are of this dimension. And what 5D wants to do is they want to untangle anything that is not in alignment so that we can move in a more unified fashion energetically. So whenever we're in conflict, it's because our emotions are not in sync with our, let's say, our analytical or our physical or our spiritual. Something is out of whack, right? And so if you think about that, there are these different bodies, it's really hard to stay in alignment all the time and move forward. So the fifth dimension comes through, helps line you up so that you can move forward in a much more analytical way. And trust me, there's no emotion. So it can sometimes be, I don't know. Do you think it's abrasive? I don't know if abrasive is the word. Sometimes it can be kind of direct.
It's direct, and I mean, I never felt it was abrasive for the most part, but I would say it's very direct. And so if people are not used to directness, that can feel a little bit abrasive, I think.
Right. That's true. So yeah, that's what I do. I mean, do you have any questions about that?
No, not really. Not right now. I mean, I'm so immersed into it for all these years. I think I'm kind of just used to it at this point.
Right. Well, I mean, you've taken the classes, you've done the work, so it would be easy to talk shop talk,
Yeah.
right? And use the lingo, and that's something that is I'm trying to stay away from so that everybody can ask questions on whatever level they're at. I don't want people to think that, I'm wackadoodle out there, and at the same time just be really clear about what's going on.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And normally you kind of explain all that too. So I feel, I mean, again, but I'm immersed into it, but I feel like it's been pretty clear when you're having people like, ask questions and making sure they're understanding it. And so, and it's definitely gotten, progressively, I guess, more advanced as the years have gone. So.
Right. That's a good thing, right? That's a really good thing.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and mention, I should have mentioned this earlier. If anyone has any questions for any live guidance, go ahead and ask them right now. Because I do have a couple for fifth dimension that I'm curious to know, but if there's anyone in the chats, I'm going to go ahead and take a look to see, because I know there was a couple of people that came for some specific questions. And I'm looking at a few different screens, so give me a second. Let's see. Someone's asking, can we ask both? Is that a question for me or Cinthia? No, I'm kidding. Yes. You can ask a question both times for intuitive guidance. And if you want to see if the message is any different for fifth dimension, you can ask the same one or you can ask a different one.
And we always start with intuitive because it's to me, it's very important to clear as much of the emotional stuff away in order to get a fifth dimension message. It doesn't change the message of the fifth dimension, but what it does is it helps people understand the message a little bit more clearly. When we're hanging up in our emotional stuff, then the message that comes out is in English, but it just people say, yeah, I get it, I felt it, but I don't grok it. I don't really understand it wholeheartedly, right? So, and that's actually why we started doing the intuitive readings first. That's a package deal: intuitive readings and fifth dimension.
Okay, so I do have one that came in from Instagram, and I'm just going to read the. Well, do you need the handle? I guess you would still need the handle here, even if it's not 5D. So Red Light Glow Spot has a question, and they want to ask about the spirits in their house. What can you tell them?
Oh, all right. So here's the thing. I actually had a thing that was like this. So I want to talk about the different types of energies. So there are energies that are accumulative, which is from all the people who've lived there before you, the energy that you had, and then the energy that shifts as you change sometimes stays in the house. So that is one type of energy. The other type of energy is an energy that is not like a ghost. It's not ethereal. It's not that kind of thing, right? But it is a different energy. And then you have environmental energy, which means the way that your place is situated. And then there are your ethereals, which are your ghosts. But I also want you to know that your guides and guardian angels, they come in and they speak with you at the same time. The energies that are in your house, I want you to know are they're not really mischievous, but there's more than a few, and they are just kind of flying through. They don't just stay in your space; they actually fly through. So it inhabits more than your your within your four walls. I also want you to know that that there is a little bit of mischief, I think is the best way to say it, that comes around, but nothing super intimidating, and not from a ghost. This is a different type of energy. I do want you to know that you are protected, that there's not anything that's bad that's going on. You can shift that energy with these. These energies are more orb-like, just in case you are wondering, and you can actually shift and ask for them to either come less often. They don't really go away unless you find a way for them to go away, which is there needs to be an agreement between the energies and yourself. And we can talk about that in a different thing. But you're safe. There's not anything bad, but there are a few. There are a few of the energies there. So just ask them, and you could do it very simply by it's always nice to have an altar, because then you're honoring the people that you're going to be talking to, or the energies that you're talking with. Your altar can be however you want it to be, which means there needs to be something sacred about it. And then when you go in, all you have to do is ask, right? Ask with sincerity. Make sure you say thank you. Let the altar stay for a day. That's all you need, is one day. Then you can go ahead and do at that altar whatever you wish. And you'll see that there will be a shift in that energy. I don't know why I finished with that.
That's the new clearing of energy, I guess. Okay, let's see. They're saying yes. Oh, I didn't notice it's not moving with me. But yeah, she said there's at least 3, and you're spot on. Yeah, no, there's more than 3, but they just kind of flit on through. So they're not that big of a deal. But I can see how it's a little bit freaky, because they do shit. They do shit. It's small shit, but just enough to make you go, what was that? So yeah. And then she's also mentioning, I know we're on this one person, but she's also mentioning that they've came since she's been sick. So is that something that can make like spirits decide to stay? Well, it's actually a really, really good question. So remember, everything is energy. And so the energy that this person is having is needing a little bit of something. And so that's why the other energies are coming. So it's not a bad thing. I've only, just so you know, now I'm getting past the readings, there's only been one instance in which there was an energy that was malicious and just harming and harmful. So yes, it does exist, but it doesn't exist as often as you think. And so the energies are, that's what I was going to say. It's law of attraction. So whatever the energy is that they're drawing in, that's the energies that are being brought to them. Right? Does that make sense? I think so. That makes sense to you. Yeah. They're responding. They're saying yes. And they did try asking. So what can they do if they're like asking? And did they ask with an altar? probably not. I'm going to assume.
Yeah. So it's asking with an altar, because you need to do it with sincerity, and there's got to be some kind of thing there. So unless you're super, super connected at the moment that you make that request, like you are completely aligned, it doesn't hold as much value, for lack of better words. It doesn't hold as much value because the intent isn't as clean. So the thing about an altar is that it brings in focus, it brings in intention, and regardless of whatever energy it is, every energy likes acknowledgement. So an altar is good, and you hold it, keep it up for 24 hours.
Okay.
At least.
I would love to know how that works. But no, they were confirming they have not done it with an altar.
Altars are the thing, man. They're the thing.
Okay, I'm just seeing if there's any others. So if there's any questions, again, feel free to throw them in the chat here. We'll go ahead and answer those live. We got a couple more that will go about doing intuitive guidance, and then we'll switch over to 5D messages.
Okay.
There is another one from someone named Rocky. He says, I'm opening up about my career shifts more drastically the past few days. I would love some guidance whether I'm too fast and what it takes to move forward in confidence.
Here's the deal. It's not about speed. It's about intention. So what's happening is that Rocky needs to be really honest with his intention. If the intention is to make money because it's important to make that money, whether it's for identity, for bills, that part doesn't matter. But if it's to make money, then be really clear on it. And when you go and look for your prospects, that you do it with that intention, because it's the same thing. It's an energy alignment, right? So that the correct opportunities can be brought forward. But Rocky's waffling, right? So sometimes it's about identity. Sometimes it's about guilt because there needs to be some kind of contributing factor to society, I think is a better way of saying it. So just be really clear. There can be more than one reason, but let's prioritize and only talk about the one or two reasons that they want to get a job. That's the most important part. Once that's done, and you can change your mind, right? So you can say, I'm doing it for the money, I'm doing it for whatever. And then you can send out or talk to the people. And then you wake up the next morning and go, no, it's really more about purpose and blah, blah, blah. Then reset that intention, send out more, talk to more people, and use that energy. So and whatever you put out is going to come back.
All right, awesome. We do have another question that came through from someone named Thomas, and their question is, what do I need to know or do at this moment?
Thomas, here's the deal. Thomas, you're actually a pretty lovely person, and thing is that there's a little bit of fear in your heart about like, what is my purpose? What is my thing? And this is, people say this and it really drives me crazy. They go, you be you, or you do you. And in your case, it's actually you. There's a part of you that always kind of is afraid that whatever you're doing is like silly or a little bit off kilter or something like that. And we actually need silliness. So I'm not saying that you are silly, but bring your secret sauce to the thing. I also want you to know that you think a little bit too much, and that if you stop your thinking just a little bit, right, you're super intuitive, and it comes in as a knowing. So just know that if you just, it's not about slowing down your thoughts. It's about having a gap of time, just a space of where your brain is not, firing off all different kinds of ideas and thoughts. And you're going to hear that there's this inner knowing that comes, and that is what you're looking for. Okay. So if they want to make it a little bit more specific, I'm happy to go deeper into that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Again, if anyone has questions, go ahead and add them to the chat, and we'll go ahead and answer them. Give another second for those to go through, because I know there's a little bit of a delay from what we're saying to what they're getting. So
I forgot about that part.
There was actually, I think I may have missed one. I think that's a question. I'm gonna try to ask it because it looks like I missed it. But there was one from the same one from the first question, Red Light Glow Spa. They're saying that they've been having a lot of back and forth with their business, and like manifestations, they start to show, but then they disappear. Like, what's that about?
Yeah. So this one's kind of a little bit more than one part. So there's two things happening. One is once the manifestation happens, okay, so I'm going to tell it to you this way. My favorite quote is, those who rest on their laurels are wearing them at the wrong end. Okay. Right? Because in the Olympics, you wear the laurel on your head and then you rest on your laurels, it's on your ass. So, and I love that kind of shit, right? I think it's hilarious. I'm not saying that you're on your ass, but here's what happens. The manifestation happens, and with manifestation comes momentum. And so what happens is that manifestation happens and you're like, ooh, and they stop. And then the momentum stops. And then with momentum comes doubt, and then it dissipates and it fizzles. So the other thing too is that you manifest big, which is great. And so sometimes you have to do a little bit of catch up. So when you manifest and you manifest big, it's okay to do the catch up, but you got to tell your manifestation, like, all right, here it is. And now I'm going to keep coming up to you, and we are going to move together. We're going to move forward together. So it's just being out of sync a little bit. The thing about waffling back and forth is that there's a part of you that's kind of pressing about your business being a little bit too constricted in the way that you want the business to go, or the way that you're providing your service. I'm not sure which way it is, but there's this constrictedness. And so also by allowing that manifestation to happen and letting it grow on its own, then it's going to stick. But what happens is that when you sit, you go, ooh, I got it. And that stops the momentum. And then the second piece is then you try and fit it into the picture you have in your head. The universe is saying, no, we have a different picture for you. So we're gonna kick it back until you and I are in agreement, until we're in agreement.
Okay, they're saying, yep, they've had some clients ready for things, and then things have been delayed. But then she's also saying that she gets a lot of jealousy. Does jealousy take a play into shifting someone's energy when it comes to something like this?
Hell yeah. I know that I'm a jealous person. I am a jealous person, right? It sucks being jealous. It really sucks being jealous because you're doing really well, and then you see someone having something. Really, all jealousy is seeing someone that has something that you don't have yet, or you haven't recognized in yourself. What happens is that we don't look, we're so close. We're looking at, look at that fucking gap, right? And it could be recognition, it could be all these things, and it doesn't need to be like that. So that is a separate type of a thing. That would be like a coaching thing where I would sit down and we would get back into where is this jealousy coming from? What I can say is that there's a part of you that has had this kind of a competitive streak for a really long time, but it's not competition like in sports, but there is a competitive nature, and it's in this competitive nature. And I think competition is super healthy because it helps us strive to be bigger than get to that limit. But the other side of it is that if we're not feeling like we are at that limit, then the competition just feels like poop, right? So yes, jealousy does factor into it, but it doesn't factor into it as much as you think, as in the gap of manifesting to just allowing the manifestation to grow on its own, or to be its own thing, right? So that's, I did something like that. I was, I did a couple of really good retreats, and then I tried making them all the same, and people weren't interested in it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I suck. I can't do retreats. Truth is, I have different retreats, and I don't care what the people, yes, I do. I cared about what the business people said, because they said, once you have a certain type of retreat, you want to replicate it. That's true. But at the same time, do the thing that's calling you, because that's the type of service that we provide, right? So the thing that's calling us is also because there are people out there who have that same energy, and you're providing the thing that they're looking for. Am I going too much on my high horse, Aaron? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm actually laughing. If you see me smiling, I'm laughing at some of the comments
Okay, good.
responses. I know some of these people, so that's why I'm like, that makes sense. That's funny.
Okay, okay, good. So yeah, so that's just, but that's so yeah, so so keep it open, and jealousy sucks. Talk to me, we can work that piece out. And if I'm not the person for you, I know people who would be.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We had 2 more questions come in. I can maybe go touch base on those 2, and then we can transition into fifth dimension.
Sure.
So keep your questions coming. And if you want to ask them again, like I mentioned, go ahead and do that. We'll see if this fifth dimension gives you a little bit more guidance. And again, it does come out a little bit direct, so don't take it personally. Because as I'm saying that, I'm remembering one time I actually got really upset with an answer. It wasn't that it was direct; it was just I was just mad with the response. So,
was it the one that was repeated 15 or 16 times?
No, that one was hilarious. That was like the year after I got mad. So, but that one's really funny. We can chat about that at a whole other time. All right, the next one we have is Diane, and so they're asking, why has my life been filled with so much hardship that I have to constantly navigate, especially as of late, as it relates to finding a job?
Okay, I'm already getting goosebumps. So this is I want to be delicate because this is really important. This person was brought into this world through hardship, and if they were to look at their background from different eyes, they would see where all the hardships are. And so what has happened is that it has conditioned you to feel like that's the way life goes. So even though you're saying my life should be so much easier, I've been working so hard, the what's that, the running memory is that, yeah, I'm supposed to have a hard life. And so it's about really getting in there. It's almost in your bones. It's that deep of a I won't call it a belief system, but a truth. And it's a truth that's definitely not a universal truth, right? A universal truth is something that you walk through your whole life and through other lifetimes. This is not a universal truth. So it's really getting down and reconciling. You don't have to reconcile your past. You don't need to do rebirthing or, talk to your inner child. You can, if that's what you want to do, but really it's about reconciling what is hardship, and then go back and see how it was almost a friend of yours since you were really little. And again, I want to be very respectful, because when you're dealing with an energy that's been your friend for so long, that energy has been your best friend, because that's what makes you tough. That's what makes you resilient. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you all these things. And but that doesn't mean that you have to have it for your whole life. So it's one of those. And it doesn't have to take a very long time to reconcile. It does take a whole lot of willingness, and that's hard, because it's hard to be willing to open up to stuff that you're not even aware of. Does that make sense when I say that? So, yeah. Aaron, are you frozen? Am I frozen? Are we frozen?
We did. It lost connection for a little bit. And it might have been me, actually, because I'm looking and I'm seeing my face is frozen, looking all scared. But you kept going. So I think it may have been on my end.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I could never repeat what I said.
Hopefully it all came through.
Yeah. That's good, because it's tender. It's a tender message.
That's pretty funny with my face. All right. And then the next question we have, I looked like I was like scared. The next question we have is from someone. Their handle is Star Pippi. They said their name. My name is Irene. My question is, how can I know if what I want to manifest is truly best for me?
Here's the beauty of that. And I will tell you that as I'm talking to you, my eyes are welling up, which tells me that this is a big question for you. And it is a big question, but I will tell you this. I've never been led astray when I'm working with my intuition and I'm manifesting. if I'm manifesting something and it's not what I want, the thing that I need shows up. So it's a fucking Mick Jagger song, right? Can't always get what you want, but you find sometimes you get what you need. So, I'll give you an example. I just out for shits and giggles when the manifesting the intenders just had come out like 30 years ago out of Maui, and they were having intention circles, and it was kind of an amazing. Oh fuck, was it 30 years ago? Yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah, 30 years ago. And so I threw something out there for shits and giggles, and I said I'm manifesting a computer free and easy. And then I let it go because I just thought it was, I thought it was a bunch of crap. And a couple days later, a client came up to me. I was helping him out doing his stuff, and he goes, "Oh, hey," he goes, I got this Mac," and he goes, "You want it?" He goes, I haven't been using it. You want it?" And then what did I do? I spit in the universe's face, and I said, "I don't like Macs." And then what happened is then all my manifestations got fucked up, right? Because it's kind of like, and I didn't realize like I was the one being conditional. I thought the universe after that, because they weren't sending me the intentions, that that I was being punished for, not being specific about, because I really wanted, at that time I was really anti-Mac. But at the same time, what I'm saying is you're going to get what you want. Manifest for that and just know. So the way that I'm feeling is that what you want to manifest has to do with your next steps in the future, and it's dear to your heart. You're not going to be led astray, but you want to trust. So if you're going to manifest being a produce grocer just for shits and giggles, and all of a sudden you have a line on being an automobile parts dealer, be the automobile parts dealer, because that's the easier, more productive, more profitable thing that the universe wants for you. And then I side hustle produce if that's your love. Okay.
All right, awesome. All right, do we want to switch into fifth dimension?
If I've answered all the questions, that would be yes.
There is one more. Do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, let's do one more because I want to make sure everybody got their questions done.
Cool. Okay, so this one is Mind Power Junkie. They said, I have my fingers in several different kinds of work. What do your guides say about what kind of work I should be focused on for the optimal balance of making money and joy?
All right. So here's the thing. I'm as you're asking the question, I'm getting a super huge hit. Not quite in my heart, but I know that my heart is affected. So what is happening is that work is being split off into different streams because of finances and money. And I totally get that. Trust me, I totally get that. However, there is one thing that is much more love or passionate, passion driven than the others. And so the answer is put your focus on the passion driven stuff, 50% on your passion driven stuff. Take the other 50% and do your bread and butter stuff. And then start treating the bread and butter stuff as if it's your 9-to-5 job that you don't give a shit about once it hits 5:01 p.m. Right? And just know that no matter what, you are this person of integrity. So you're going to give great product and great service until 5 o'clock. And then the other 50% really needs to be pushed forward on the thing that you truly believe that you need to be in. And that's what's happening. There's the reason that this stuff is stopping is too many suggestions. And so too many twists and turns, like this and that and this and that. So so say thank you to the stuff that people say and dig into the thing that you're really passionate about. And unless the suggestions are, I won't call it easy money because, I don't think there's anything easy anymore when it comes to money, unless, and we won't go into that. But because that's not intuitive and that's not, that's very emotional. So so you can say thank you, and then when you hear something that's like that you can do in your sleep, do it 50%, and the other 50% go balls out. It's important.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and actually from that, I kind of had some other questions pop up that I might see if I ask in kind of D.
We can do it however you want. Do you want to do it now or do you want to do it in 5 minutes?
There's no new questions that came in, so if we want to switch over for a few minutes, or we want to wait, it's up to you.
No. Oh, no, when you said you had a couple questions, I wasn't sure.
Oh, no, for 5D.
All right, cool.
For the twins.
All right. I don't know why I'm doing I do not know why I'm being weird today. So I apologize for being different, but information is good, I promise you.
And as a note for anyone, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask now.
I forgot to say that once I get into the fifth dimension, there will be a universal message for the people who are listening, and then the questions can go. And I'm almost there. It is important for you to know that there is a need for interconnectedness. In this definition of interconnectedness, it is finding what are the common denominators within each human being in order for you to connect. It is in these connection spots energetically that will weave an energetic rope that will allow for unification to occur. At this moment, there are many strands of energy that is swaying in nothingness, for lack of better words, meaning that there is disconnection and it is needing connection in order for there to be a movement going forward. Please know that this interconnectedness does not mean that you must be with one group or another, but really sit with the being in front of you. This being can be of a mineral, animal, or human or other dimension. It is important that in all interactions that there is an interconnectedness. With this interconnectedness, there will be a growing of one's personal energetic flow. With this personal energetic flow amplification, you will find that there will be a unification throughout this planet. Do you understand?
Yes. That's great. Okay, we do have a question that came through. This one is from Red Light Glow Spa. And so they're saying, I'm working on calming my nervous system to not scare my blessings and manifestations away, but what should I do differently so that they follow through and come and stay?
It is important for you to understand that there is an energetic value within you that is not quite respected within self. Please know that there is a groundedness within you that you do not respect. Allow this groundedness to be respected and acknowledged. This is done by allowing yourself moments of just being grateful for where you are in this moment. It is in that groundedness that you will find connection. It is not about the future. It is in the now. In the now, you are creating an energetic value that is sent out to others in this atmosphere that will allow the connection that you so crave. Please know that in this grounding, the messaging is almost instantaneous, and you will find that others will be finding you soon. Soon is that of days and weeks. Please know that this is not a thing that this dimension acknowledges, as time is not of importance in our dimension. However, in yours and in your desire, it is in matter of weeks before this calendar year is out that you will find the connection that you desire. Do you understand?
That was beautiful. Yes. I do have another question that came through from Diane. They said, will something happen to get... Oh, this one's a little bit political. I'm going to ask it anyway. Will something happen that will get rid of Trump soon and stop this crumbling of our country?
It is important for you to understand that this planet is in the midst of disintegration and defraction, for lack of better words. It is important for you to understand that there must be a breaking apart in order for others to find that common denominator to bring it back together. It is important for you to understand that it is in the connectedness that is in your universal message that is similar to this in banning this leader that is currently on this planet. Please know that there is a attraction to fear, as fear has this power, and this power is much more measurable than that of an energetic value within each person's being who does not understand the value of their own energetic value. Please know that as the falling apart occurs, that there will also be a growing. There must be a faction or dissolution in order for this to occur. Please know that this will occur for more than one lifetime, for lack of better words. In this lifetime, you will find much disintegration. Please know that you will be of a different generation once this shift has completely occurred. Do you understand?
Yes. All right. We have another one that came in. This one is from K. Wow. I'm working on communication, but the more I try to communicate, the more I'm misunderstood and cause more emotional damage. How can I clear my voice and intentions?
It is important for you to understand that you speak with feeling, and this is correct. However, speaking with feeling is that of a finite nature. Please understand, to speak with sincerity or complete connectedness, you'll find that love, love, understanding, compassion, all these things are woven into the greater energy. It is from this greater energy that you will be able to connect. Please also understand that each individual has a different energetic vibration. It is important for you to connect at their vibrational value and not yours. From their vibrational value, you must then connect and then allow the shift to occur within your energy and their energy in order for a interconnectedness to occur. Do you understand?
Yes. All right. I have a question that kind of popped up from some of the questions earlier. So one question is, does everyone have a connection to the fifth dimension energy similar to Cinthia and Indira?
There are many energetic connections. Please know that there is an ability to connect to the fifth dimension. However, there are many dimensions beyond that of the fifth dimension that others can connect to. Please know that it is the ultimate goal for all dimensions to find an interconnectedness. Please know it is similar to that of a jawbreaker candy, for lack of better words. As you know, a jawbreaker candy is dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped and dipped until there is a one solid thing. However, it is in the layers that must be broken through and uncovered in order to get to source. It is the energy of the universe to be in its symphonic value, meaning that there are many different energies, but it must be humming in harmony. It is in this dimension that there is much disharmony. In this dimension, it is important for the harmony to occur in order for the other dimensions to resonate. However, in the original question, every human being does have a resonance to another dimension. Please know that all beings come from other dimensions. There is no specific science that can say, how does a human being come in with its personality? It is important for you to understand it is from a different dimension. Do you understand?
I believe so. That was good. All right. If anyone else has any questions, we are communicating with the fifth dimension at this time. So feel free to go ahead and ask those in the chat. Let's see. I don't see anything new, so I might ask my other question that I had. Let's see. Oh, actually, one just came through, so let me ask that. So this is a question that Diane has. Her question is, I have been hearing that we are all moving towards 5D overall, which would be which would be a whole other world without money, or what we're used to living with now. Can you talk more about this?
It's important for you to understand that there is a current understanding in which there must be a trade of value to a trade of value. This is correct. However, it is of a materialistic value. It is important for people to understand that a value of consumption in the body is just as valuable as something that is not to be consumed within the body. It is in this misunderstanding that each thing has different values, that the current situation is in existence. Please know that there will be a value in which one respects the service or product of another that will then be allowed a trade. It will be also acknowledged that as one rises energetically, that it is acknowledged by all of the rise in energetic value. It is in these two recognitions that you will find a change in commerce and change in relationship and change in value. Other things will spin off these three things. Do you understand?
Yes. All right. I'm going to go ahead and ask one of my questions. So is it possible for us, or is it possible, or how can we harness like the fifth dimension energy to aid us in manifesting?
It is important for you to understand that all walks come from all different dimensions. It is important for you to understand that not all beings will resonate with the fifth dimension, meaning that the fifth dimension is not the best desired way in order for us to shift and manifest. For this body, the fifth dimension resonates, and in fifth dimension is where changes occur. For others, there is a different dimension. It is a dimension of much more compassion. From this compassionate view, others will shift. It is similar to those who respond to treats, and others who respond to goals, and others who respond to discipline. It is in these driving matters that they are connected in order to manifest. Please know it is important for each to connect with their dimension in order for the shift to occur. Please know that each dimension can connect with other dimensions, meaning that this body can connect with that of another dimension that is other than fifth and will receive information. However, the shift is not as impactful as it is from the one that resonates to this body. Do you understand?
Yes. So for me, which dimensional energy do I resonate with best that would help me with any manifestations?
You are that of a different dimension than the fifth. There is a dimension of similar to that of water and fluidity and compassion. There's a part of you that resonates with compassion. However, there is a part of you that is uncomfortable with compassion. It is important for you to become in alignment with this compassionate nature. It is okay for you to still have your personality with its humor and its quirks. However, it is important for you to understand that your vibrational value is that of compassion. Once this can occur, you will find that these shifts will come and the information will be within you on a much higher vibration and deeper level. Do you understand?
Yes. All right. So we did have another one come in from Diane. They're asking if you can confirm if they are a starseed.
That is correct. You are a communicator. It is important for you to understand that your communication is that of allowing things of a ethereal level to be down into a concrete level. There is a part of you that is very grounded, and others resonate to your groundedness. However, this does not mean that you are not of ethereal nature. It is in this groundedness that you will be able to connect with others that do not understand the value of the other dimensions and ethereal energy. From this, as a translator, you will find much more passion in all you do, as you are then an instrument of what you are purposed to do.
All right. We have another one that came in from Ecor. They're asking if there's any messages for them at this time.
Yes, it is important for them to understand that they are of a great energetic value. However, there is a disruption within themselves, and it is in the emotional value that they carry. Please know that emotions do carry value here on this planet, but it is an energy that is meant to be transmuted. It is important for you to understand that emotions can move others in directions, but it is of a finite value, meaning that there will be a time where this energy will no longer exist. It is important for you to transmute this energy and understand that this transmutation will allow for a higher energetic value. Allow this to drive not as passionately as it has in the past. Allow it to be a driver, but not the gas and the pedal. Do they understand?
Yes. All right. And then we have another one from KWOW. They are asking if there are any messages for them at this time.
Yes, they must understand that there is a sadness within them that has no name. It is important for this sadness to be expressed. It does not need to have a definition. It just needs to be released. Once this energy is released, that you'll find that there is a cleansing. This cleansing is that of more than one lifetime. You have been brought in with this unnamed sadness. Allow yourself to feel. Once this feeling is done, again, you will transmute. Allow that energy to be transmuted so that you will no longer be in this rigorous lifestyle, for lack of better words.
All right. I think that's our time. We just have a few minutes left. So, and there's no other questions. So if you want to, I think we're good to come out, actually.
All right.
All right. I don't know why I'm bold with that. I'm like, just come out. No, that was great. I loved that. That was, I was like, I don't normally ask questions for me, but I was like, okay, let me ask something personal. What dimension? So that one hit home. But I think we're good. Everyone was confirming, yep, that's right, you're spot on. And so they all seem pretty happy with that. So
great. Awesome. Do they have any questions about what the fifth dimension is and how that, because we didn't really go into it. I'm assuming that everybody that's on has connected with us before so that they do know. But if anybody has a question, let's let them get on so that they're like, oh, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, if anyone does, go ahead and ask. I'm seeing like some names I wasn't familiar with, but a few were, or I kind of gave them some briefs if I did know them. But yeah, we'll give them a second. And again, just so that everyone's aware, we're doing some quickies here from Cinthia, just to promote her whole experience that she does on her own, but also the spiritual WTF experience. Heather Farms, March 30th. Cinthia will be there. You can actually go into a session like this, and I usually go in with like 10 questions, and I usually end up asking like 15. So it's, unlimited questions when you're there. And a lot of them, as I think I mentioned on some other of these recordings, is a lot of them has helped kind of guide the paths that I've taken in life and decisions and stuff, but it's also very self-reflective. And I think that's the most important part, so that, okay, I need to work on this. And that's actually a question I don't ask it anymore because I think I've reached my limit, but I used to ask, like, what do I need to work on right now? And then every time I would go, it was a totally different thing that would either add on to what you told me before, or it would be something totally different that I just hadn't thought of yet. And so, yeah. So again, the directness feels brutal, but it's not. I would still come back.
I'm so glad. I will say that as a person who's doing it, the thing that I love the most is I don't really get involved with the answers. I'm still here, so I can hear, but I don't get involved. What does happen though is when people are done with having a session of doing this intuitive and channeling sesh, the energy comes out different, and so it's kind of like going out, hanging out, and then coming back in, and then you're like, wow, that was, I'm here with a bunch of different people, and that's always surprising to me, and it feels really good because there's just something more, I don't know, meaty to it, I guess.
Yeah. So actually, someone's asking how can they, how to ask more about their 5D questions that you answered. So how can they, get connected with you?
Oh, so come find me. Come find me on Facebook. I am Cinthia Varkevisser, Modern Day Mystic. That's my business page. You can get me on my website, and which is on. Thank you so much, Erin, for having it covering your face. Come to if you're local, come to WTF. I'm doing the experience. I'm also helping out Aaron, but that doesn't mean that I'm not there to talk and chat you up, and I can answer any questions. Not reading wise because I'm not in that space, but a lot of 30 years in the biz. So if you have some questions about how to get more connected or whatever, I'm happy to give you some insights, connect you with some people, or that could set us up so that we can have another sesh. And we've got some videos that are coming out. You can see them on Aaron's YouTube. You can see them on not on my YouTube just yet, but you can also see them on Instagram. And I don't know your handle's Intuitive WTF.
Yep.
Or you can see it on mine, which is It's Intuition. It's Intuition. So there's lots of ways. And then of course, hit me up right here in the chat, and I will find you and we will connect that way. So all about connection.
All right. Awesome. Well, let me see if there was anything else that came through. I don't see anything there. I don't see. Okay. No, it looks like we're good. Questions were answered. So again, everyone, thank you so much. We'll hopefully see you on March 30th at Heather Farms Community Center. And more specifically, hopefully we'll see you at Cynthia's session. That's going to be a little bit more immersive, similar to this, but more immersive. And that starts at noon. So you can go to spiritualwtf.com to get your tickets, and it'll be a great time.
Yeah. Good food, good vibes, good info. You're going to love it. Great people.
It is. All right. Well, thank you all. All right. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day and have a great weekend.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Intuitive WTF Podcast. I hope today's episode brought about a new perspective, or at least made you question a current one. If you enjoyed this show, subscribe to this podcast now, and don't forget to rate and review. If you have any questions or would like to add your perspective to today's topic, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, join us next time for another round of laughs. I look forward to bringing you many more WTF moments, but until then, this is Aaron Hart asking you to stay in curiosity, be in the moment, and always ask yourself, what the fuck?